guys, and welcome to my ultimate tips and tricks guide for Disney Dreamlight Valley. Dreamlight Valley actually released into early access on September 6th on multiple platforms, and it will be getting its first free update soon. It'll be adding Scar and extending the story, but we don't have a concrete date for that just yet. But hey, until then, here's a guide to help beginner players and intermediate players alike. And of course, I've got 3 great money-making tips for you, so stick around. My first tip is to keep all the Dream Shards and Night Shards you find. Originally, at the launch of the game, there was an issue with the amount of Dream Shards you could get from Night Thorns, so they were in massive short supply, and you needed them for a ton of quests. While that issue has been fixed, it would still hurt if you used either of these for purified Night Shards, for gifts, or turn it into Dreamlight, because believe me, you'll need a lot of Dream Shards and Night Shards for important quests. But even though you should be getting these from Night Thorns, I've actually found getting them from digging up shining spots on the ground is honestly the best place to find both of them. Get a digging buddy to join you on your journey to find them, and you'll double your bounty. One of the first issues you might come across is not having enough space for all your things. Sure, you have your pockets and the chest in your house, but both of those barely hold anything at the start. Well, to upgrade the chest in your house, you have to upgrade your house, using the orange sign outside. And that gets expensive quickly. So does upgrade your pockets. But my advice, spring for upgrading your pockets first, because if you try and upgrade your house instead, that gets much more expensive much faster, and you don't even get as much space. Another thing you can do is craft chests at your workbench. You don't need much to craft them, and you can craft as many as you want. No, they don't hold a lot either, but as said, you can craft a ton of them, and you're gonna need them. Because my next piece of advice, be a hoarder. Keep all those rocks, all that coal, all those veggies, some of that fruit. Keep a little bit of everything in a lot of building and cooking components. Trust me, it'll come in handy quickly having all those things, especially hardwood and clay. One of the most important aspects of the game is making friends. Each of your villagers has 10 levels to their friendship, and each level you gain, you get something from them, and they offer you new quests. Some of these quests are incredibly important, as they level up your gear and allow you to access areas you couldn't before. Merlin will upgrade your watering can, allowing you to get rid of mushrooms, giving you access to more of the Glade of Trust. Maui will upgrade your pickaxe, allowing you to clear the bridge area of the Blue Rock storm debris in Dazzle Beach. Anna will upgrade your shovel, allowing you to clear stumps and access more of the Forest of Valor. Elsa will upgrade your pickaxe to where you can destroy the ice chunks and gain more access to the Frosted Heights. Fans speculate that after we get the first free update with Scar, he'll be the one to give us the upgrade to clear the bones in Sunlit Plateau. But as of now, there's no way to clear those. But stick around, and I'll show you how to get around all those obstacles even without the tool upgrades. There are 2 ways to level up your friendship with your villagers. A, you give them gifts. Make sure to check and see what their favorite gifts of the day are, because that will net you a lot more points. And B, you simply hang out with them. Around level 2, you'll get the option to pick an activity for them to specialize in. Gardening, digging, foraging, fishing, mining, etc. Hanging out and doing these specific activities with them will not only net you more points, but double the amount of items you get from these tasks. Hence why I mentioned Digging Buddy earlier. From my experience, gardening is not only the most profitable thing to pick, but also the fastest one to level up your friendship with. However, I recommend you at least have one of each of these activities picked out with your villagers, as it comes in handy when you need certain items for quests. In addition, if you have Remy's restaurant unlocked, you can serve your villagers their requested food and get points from that, too. Also, there are 2 villagers you'll unlock who can't hang out with you. And down the line, there might be villagers who simply don't want to, like maybe some villain characters. These villagers will be harder to level up. My advice is to focus on giving them all 3 of their favorite gifts every day you play. Otherwise, it may take forever to get them to level 10. It cannot be overstated how helpful the collection tab in your menu can be. Something even I didn't realize until later. From here, you can see what level your friendship is with your villagers, what their hangout bonus is, and what their favorite gift of the day is. You can also see what materials you need for crafting components. where certain critters are, and if they're out for the day, and if you've befriended them yet or not, where you can find certain fish, flowers, materials, fruits, vegetables, and gems, as well as how much each of them sell for. You can also see what recipes you already have unlocked, as well as what you need for them. You can even see what recipes you haven't unlocked yet, along with what clothing sets and furniture sets you have so far. This is also where you'd look at what memories you've uncovered. Dreamlight is another important aspect to the game. You need Dreamlight to unlock new areas or travel to other realms to pick up new villagers. At first, it might seem tedious to get the amount of Dreamlight you need. Early game things are pretty cheap actually. However, the more areas you unlock, the more expensive it gets. However, I found just going about your day, gathering gifts, items for quests, making money, etc., you'll gather quite a bit of Dreamlight. On the other hand, there might be times you're trying to gather lots of Dreamlight quickly to unlock more areas. For that, you'll want to look under the Dreamlight tab in your menu. There are some Dreamlight duties that will net you up to 500 Dreamlight. However, these usually take a lot of time. I recommend aiming for ones that'll get you 200 Dreamlight, as these range from feeding a critter to cooking a meal. Stuff that's easy and quick. And I know it's tempting to turn your Dream Shards into Dreamlight, something you can do at any workbench, but don't do it. It's honestly not worth it, as it only gives you 250 Dreamlight for 10 Dream Shards. There are many activities that you can do during your time in Dreamlight Valley, and I have some handy tips for a few of them. I recommend, as I do with almost all activities, bring a buddy. A buddy is someone who has a specific activity as their hangout bonus. Make sure your buddy has the activity you're doing as their hangout bonus. This way, not only will you double what you find, you'll level up your friendship in the process. For fishing, there are some rivers, ponds, and even the ocean to fish in, each area having different fish to catch. Blue and gold circles are important. It's unclear which one houses the best, most expensive fish, as it seems both circles are very good catches. But always keep an eye out for those and grab the fish in them when you see them, especially in areas like the Forgotten Lands, where blue and gold circles are rare. For mining, if you're in it for the shiny gems, which give you the most money, focus on mining areas where you can clearly see the gems. But keep in mind that shiny gems aren't the only important resource you get from mining. Rock and coal are very important crafting components, and you'll also need non-shiny gems for quests and presents. So mine as many mining spots as possible. It's very important for other things than shiny gems. Cooking can be used for a variety of things. Use cooked food to replenish your stamina, give as gifts, sell for money, or make for quests. There are currently 164 recipes to discover, and some of those will be locked off from you for a while due to rare ingredients or ingredients from areas you haven't discovered. However, an easy way to discover recipes is by cooking with Remy. He will react to the ingredients you put in the pot. If it's a good combo, he'll get excited and raise his hands. If it's not, he'll look back at you confused. If it's a really bad combo, he'll actually put his head down in shame. The lesson? Listen to the rat. And lastly, I have 2 important tips for gardening. 1. Check which biome the seed you are planting grows faster in by seeing if there is a green arrow next to it. And 2. Try to do lots of gardening on rainy days, where you don't have to constantly keep watering your plants. In addition to Remy, Moana and Wally are incredibly important villagers to have. After you've leveled up their friendship a bit and done a quest for each of them, you get access to Moana's fishing boat and Wally's garden. If you level up Moana's boat, she'll bring you back important and rare fish you can either use for quests, cooking, or to sell. There's a cooldown time depending on how many fish she's catching. So far, I have her catching 12 fish, and the cooldown time is 8 minutes. Leveling Wally's garden up will net you more and more ingredients as well as rarer and rarer ones. And if you want to cook a lot but aren't farming a ton or don't have certain areas unlocked, his garden can be a lifesaver. Keep in mind, both of these can get upgraded around 10 times, and the upgrades can get very expensive. In that same vein, don't be afraid to spend the money on Goofy stands. That's how you unlock all the seeds and ingredients from other areas. After leveling up your friendship with Kristoff, he'll also open up a stand, and eventually he'll sell softwood, rock, sand, coal, brick, and fiber, although it does look like Kristoff changes what he sells on a daily basis. So here are some tricks that'll help you along your journey. Firstly, if you go back to Remy's world, you can use his limited ingredients to make or even unlock new recipes without using any of your own. But the big hint is if you eat enough, you can overfill your stamina bar. You can do this at home too. I just like using Remy's kitchen and his stuff. This will lead you to being able to run at double the speed you did before, but that only lasts as long as your stamina bar is golden. Also, keep in mind you can't leave Remy's realm with anything from it, so you have to eat the meal there. It won't be in your inventory if you leave. This next trick I've heard is called fence jumping. In Dreamlight Valley, you can practically move anything, anywhere. So this means you can move fast travel wells into areas that are fenced off to you. These are the areas I mentioned earlier that you needed upgraded tools for. If there are items in those areas you need, instead of waiting what might be days for those upgrades, you can simply move your well into those areas and fast travel to them. Another quick trick is if you've dug a bunch of holes and don't want to spend all the time putting the dirt back, you can just pull an item from your inventory and set it on top of where you dug the holes. This will insta-fill the holes. Also, a quick tip I can give you is if you're having any difficulty with any mechanic or forget how to do things, in the menu under settings there's a game guide feature and it has buttons for every aspect of the game. You forget how to fish? It has a little video that shows you how. Perfect for those like me who sometimes don't pay attention during the tutorial or honestly forget how to do certain things after a few days without playing the game. And my last quick tip is if you run out of stamina, go back home. Just popping in will instantly give you all your stamina back. Alright, here are the tips you've all been waiting for. The thing we all know Dreamlight is really all about. Money. We all want that sweet, sweet cash to buy all the goodies at Scrooge McDuck's store. So, I researched a ton of money-making tips and tried them for myself. Here are the ones I recommend for raking in as many star coins as possible. To start off, I recommend carrots. Carrots will be one of the first ingredients you can farm. You can buy carrot seeds from Goofy's stand in the Peaceful Meadow. Buy as many seeds as you can, and don't forget to farm them with a gardening buddy, for depending on who you harvest them with, what level they're at. That can help you double or even triple the amount of carrots you'll get back, netting you even more profit. Carrots also grow incredibly fast, so you can do several rounds of them in a day. Next, I recommend the souffle method. With this method, you need some starting cash, Remy's restaurant, and the souffle recipe unlocked. It's simply cheese, eggs, milk, and butter, aka all the ingredients you can buy from Remy. Buy an equal number of each and start baking. I recommend putting the restaurant, a Goofy stand, and an oven all next to each other to streamline the process. It is a bit tedious, but it can net you a nifty profit with some time. The final method I have is pumpkins, but you need to have the Forgotten Lands unlocked and some starting cash as pumpkin seeds are expensive. They also take the longest time to grow, even in their specified biome, but they will net you the highest profit of all, especially if by now you have a level 10 gardening buddy and can triple the amount of pumpkins you get. So that's it for my ultimate guide. If you have any other tips that I didn't mention, let me know in the comments. And if you're interested in more Dreamlight Valley tips, tricks, and guides like a guide for critters or a walkthrough of some of the puzzle missions, let us know.
Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, sub, and hit that notification bell, and then check out some of these other videos. Find the link to our Discord server and other important stuff in the description below.
Rotate.